Take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
I have an update regarding the time traveler that went into my shed and disappeared. And this is gonna blow a lot of people's minds. And if you're still denying that this is real at this point, this is gonna change your mind. So just a quick recap. This guy walks around my backyard, goes to my shed, opens the door, goes inside, and disappears. Called the cops came, they went in the shed twice. He wasn't in there. They looked, I looked like an insane guy. The cops were like, what is this guy smoking? And you can see he never came back until the next day right here. Notification on my camera that there's somebody in my backyard, and this guy leaves my shed. And he looks right at the camera too. That guy left my shed. But here's the craziest part. This looks like the same guy, maybe, glasses, whatever. Let's look at the other guy. This was the other guy. He noticeably aged. Looks like the same guy, but aged. So him again, and now him. Same facial features, whiter hair. So I don't even know what to think at this point. Somebody explain this. He literally left the same shed. You saw the camera I put before. There was no movement that whole night. Then the next day, this guy leaves the shed, looks right at the camera like he knows, and he looks noticeably older. I don't know, something's going on. Somebody explain what's going on in my shed. I'll be going there in about a week to give a tour, since a lot of people are asking. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, I don't even know what to think. Did he time travel? Is this a different person? Who is this new guy? Is it the same guy? Let me know what you think, because this blew my mind.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Get out of the way. Look at this. Somebody please explain. My camera. That is some kind of an artificial background, an artificial sky, yellow. Looks like wires, maybe? Yeah, that's trippy. That's trippy. Hold up. Hold up, let me get another angle. Gotta see this. Look at this. Look at this. Somebody help me understand that. Somebody help me understand what the heck that is. Look at no, that's the sky's tripping. Big time, baby, big time. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Get out of the way. Look at this. Somebody please explain.
Know the mantra. I am the most powerful being in the cosmos. That's the mantra. Mantra means you keep saying it to yourself. The intent you hold is for divine cosmic protection, and you're tapping into the dark matter energy in you to strengthen the genetics in you. Because linking into that dark matter energy, see yourself in the center of darkness, which is not going to be hard to do with your eyes closed anyway. But what you're doing is you're further helping speed up the process of unlocking your genetics, and you're linking into the energy. You have to recognize, drop your physical avatar. When you close your eyes, don't see your body. See what you see. That darkness, that what you come from, and that your spirit and soul, and that's how Source created you. So that's your essence, electricity and magnetism, and that can never be destroyed. You can never be destroyed. You will never die. You was never born. I repeat, you can never be destroyed. You will never die. You was never born. All right? So we got a lot of infiltration taking place. All right? COINTELPRO is still at an all-time high. So what I need you to do is, this is why we need that divine cosmic protection. We got to call them in, though. We got to call them in and be ready to stand on everything that we've learned. Right? Because we at war. We're at a war. All right? We're at war. So don't think, oh, you just going to be remembering who you is and shit going to be sweet. We at war. Remember that. All right? A spiritual war.
This guy right here speaks on the great split that is coming for Earth, the 3D and 5D split, and the changes that are to come on this new world.
There will come the time, and it's not going to take long, where a natural separation is going to take place. A natural separation. The ones that are able to read the signs, that are able to go with what is happening, to adapt to the changes this world is bringing to us, they will move on to another world. They will move on to another area, to another cycle of us humans being right now here on the earth. And other people that are unwilling, unable, maybe incapable of adapting to the coming changes. It is simple like this. They will stay with the old world, which is about to end. That's the message.
You see, the key word he used right there was natural selection, because for some reason a lot of people think that what's happening to the world right now is all controlled by the government. But again, this is the earth waking up. You know, she's tired of being pushed around. She's tired of being used and abused, and it's time for her to give a new birth to new children, to a new life, to a new earth. So those who want to continue playing the game of life and creating, you must raise your vibration in order to meet Earth where she's going to be at, which is in the higher dimensions. And those who want to play the 3D realm, well, it's not looking good for you guys. This is why this shift is happening. And this is why all this is happening now, because the negative energy must play itself out in order for the new positive energy to come in. So right now it's the time to focus on self, to work on yourself. Because all this light and intelligence pouring in is just pieces of yourself that is coming back to you, so you can know who you are finally. That is what the X is all about. Everybody's seen the X's in the sky. X's are your DNA. These are pieces of your DNA that are raining down from the sun. So let me know what you guys think about this video. Please like, comment, and share this video. This video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I am only bringing awareness to interesting situations during this interesting time. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. Let's get this shift, y'all. Peace in.
Jesus didn't say he was going to return. He said that Christ would return. And you look into what a Christ is, it's a level of consciousness. Being born again is rising in consciousness. Christ's consciousness is the highest level. The ancient sages knew this. Jesus Christ was not the first Christ. It's a level of thinking and understanding. It has nothing to do with this foolishness that you've been preached and taught. Heaven and hell is a state of mind. Heaven and hell is a state of mind, and these are your temples. I believe that there's a God, and I believe that there's a creator of this universe. However, the one in this book, that ain't it. What you're looking at here is a hodgepodge of recycled texts and scripts and papyruses that have been remixed and remixed again and contorted to be able to utilize to control the masses. This is supposed to be a divine book authored by God himself. You believe that? That's where you're going with everything. Let's read this. Anyone who beats their male or female slave with a rod must be punished if the slave dies as a direct result. But they are not to be punished if the slave recovers after a day or two. All is forgiven. This is God talking. Sounds like a narcissistic, psychopath, sociopathic clown to me. It don't sound like the creator of the universe. Not even close. Somebody come in my face and tell me that the creator of the universe made this statement, I'm gonna laugh and walk away. And yet millions of people drop to their knees and pray for this stuff. And people have used that exact statement to promote and push slavery, and we still ain't all the way out of it yet. Because we got economic slavery, we got the prison system slavery, we got the educational slavery, and we got the mental enslavement. That's gonna take maybe 15, 20 more generations to work out of our DNA. See, there's some good stuff in the Bible, but what they did was they took the good stuff and they overrode it with a lot of bad stuff, a lot of darkness, a lot of manipulation and agenda, and a lot of propaganda. We've gotta be able to discern what's good and what's bad.
All know of Area 51, but have you heard of Area 52? This secret military base is located in a remote part of Alaska, and it contains things which should not exist. One of the head engineers there has recently been fired and decided to speak out about some of what's there. One of the things which are being held there are some of the last extinct creatures, such as the dodo bird as well as the T-Rex. These creatures have been brought back to life with the use of DNA that were found in their bones. The engineer also stated that they have unidentified flying objects in their possession which were found at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. Inside the object, there is technology which is way too advanced for us, such as the portal cube. It is a device which acts as a portal and takes the user to a completely different world inside the tiny cube. One of the final things which the man spoke about is a time travel device which they acquired after they had captured a time traveler. He has never actually seen the device himself, but it was a common rumor going around in Area 52. One of the workers there reported to have used the device, and he was taken to the year 2027. What he saw is terrifying. If you want to see the images of the area, comment view images.
Now, you look at animals with magnetite crystals in their brains. Birds flock south for the winter, go back north, they migrate, right? Animals across the Serengeti plains of Africa can navigate, go anywhere. If there's a tsunami coming in to a shore, the wild animals, they know long before the tsunami even arrives, get the heck out of here, right? They know long before it happens. But the people and the pets, they stay there and drown. They videotape it on an iPhone. They watch the water come right on top of them, right? But why is that? The magnetite crystals. Now, what's also interesting about these crystals is they actually help to encapsulate your spirit in the avatar body, but with two other mechanisms. The other mechanism is your neural correlates of consciousness, which are three giant nerves that wrap around the inside of the skull that look like a crown of thorns. Now, you all know the story of Yeshua in the Bible, who had to put on the crown of thorns. To me, it's an archetype of what really is going on inside of our minds. We all are walking around with a crown of thorns that's responsible for us to receive higher levels of consciousness. See, Jesus never said he was coming back. He said that Christ will return.
Come on, talk to him then, Billy.
I'm 19 Keys, and this is high-level conversation. Tap in with the God.
Gotta talk about the 2024 solar storm. I'm telling you, that's the second sign that the Anunnaki are making a comeback. And the first sign, that solar eclipse. Back in 2019, Yasuyuki Mitsuma and his crew stumbled upon this ancient Babylonian tablet talking about a solar storm where the whole sky turned red and these blue beings started falling from the heavens like raindrops. But here's where it gets real wild. These same dudes go on an expedition to Antarctica. They vanish for 2 whole days whilst exploring Rothschild Island. When they finally turn up, they're clutching these bizarre sun-shaped relics, rambling about 5 freaky sun-related anomalies that signal the return of the blue gods. It ain't over yet. Them tablets also spill about how during this solar storm, humans fled underground for safety. Now, ain't that something? Because around that same era, they're carving out Derin Kuyu underground city over in Turkey. Now, why in the world would Musk, Bezos, and Zuckerberg be building these massive bunkers if they ain't thinking we're all cooked? It's all there, man. You just gotta look.
It's not what you think it is. There's a theory that the Anunnaki are actually evil. And even though people think they're the great architects of humanity, the truth is actually super disturbing. Some say the Anunnaki are extraterrestrial overlords that enslave the human race, that they feed on human souls, that the earth is a human farm, and that we're trapped here by the firmament until they return. But wait, it gets darker. In 1989, 2 British police detectives received an anonymous tip that led them to make a chilling discovery in the basement of a deserted country manor. In the years that followed, they uncovered a web of secrecy that led straight to the heart of a shadowy cult known as the Cerulean Covenant. Their belief that by serving the Anunnaki, they could secure their bloodline salvation. But here's where it gets weird, because tracing back their origins reveals a connection to none other than Pope Pietro Francesco Orsini. Now, why does that name ring a bell? Because in the shadows lurks a figure more powerful than the white Pope and the black Pope combined. Pepe Orsini, also known as the Great Pope, pulls strings you didn't even know existed, steering the course of the world from the depths of obscurity. And one more thing, those police detectives, they're both missing.
How y'all not heard of Project Bluebeam? We got these folks in power, trying to control the masses, right? Now, they fixing to do this wild scheme to fake a global alien invasion or a second coming of some divine being using advanced holograms and tech wizardry. They want to unite the world under one ruler, pulling the ultimate cap move. But hold up, it gets even crazier. They ain't stopping there. They want to use this blue beam thing to mess with our minds, projecting fake religious events and messiahs to manipulate us.
It's like a real life sci-fi for people who are asleep. Wake up and pay attention, because if you be seeing strange stuff in the sky or hearing about miraculous visions popping up worldwide, you know what's really going down. It's all there. You just gotta look.
Do you guys remember taking 2 soup cans and a string and making a telephone with your friend? I've made the same kind of thing with solo cups, some metal foil, and a speaker cone spring. But when I put this thing up against my beehive, have y'all ever heard of anything like this before?
You're trapping your soul in the earth. Your body is a technological computer running the simulation to your mind, your consciousness. You do not experience the external world. You only experience the electrical impulses on your nervous system. You do not look into reality. What you see is an image produced by the visual cortex in your brain. You're only experiencing the brain and the central nervous system, not the world. The body is the earth. This is why the word heart is earth, because when the heart stops, you leave this veil of consciousness. The head is called the temple because this is where God resides. This is where the mind is, the invisible consciousness which has access to the other higher dimensions of consciousness. They have tricked you into materialism. They've tricked you into believing that you are only the physical body, which traps your mind in physicality. The mind can go forward and backwards in time, which means it exists outside of the third dimension, outside of time, space and matter. But your body is a part of the third dimensional construct, which means it can only stay in the present moment. It cannot go in the past or future, just like your mind can. The devil is the de-veil. They want your mind stuck to the physicality, stuck in third dimensional awareness. This is why they get you addicted to all of the physical pleasures, food, lust, money, and all material things, so that your mind keeps entertained by physical things. When you die, your mind will still have the same addictions from when it was in the physical plane. This means it will come back and reincarnate again into physicality. This is why you need to strip off all addictions and detach from the external world, because this body is just a veil on top of your consciousness.
You ever see those squiggly lines in the air? People may refer to them as floaters. Well, I'm gonna tell you exactly what these things really are. Now, typically, mines come in different shapes. They almost look like fractal patterns. Now, they tell you it's an eye condition, but that's false, okay? Just like when they made up the so-called demon face syndrome, right? This is all false. Now, we are all aware that we are living in some type of light code simulation. And we only actually see less than 1% of the light photon spectrum. Now, the ones and zeros that make up this matrix are referred to as what's called Indinkra codes. When computers transmit information, typically this information is submitted through what they call binary or ones and zeros. Here's another visual perspective of Indinkra symbols. When we see these floaters, basically what we're seeing is fragments of the matrix glitching. Basically, we're seeing the binary code or Indinkra symbols that string together this matrix. Since we only have access to less than 1% of the light photon spectrum, once in a while, we actually may get a little more. And sometimes we start to see a little bit through the matrix. So it may appear as Indinkra symbols or binary, which is these little fractal patterns that we may get in our visual spectrum. A quantum physicist that studies supersymmetry by the name of Professor James Gates conducted a study in which he discovered that the same binary code that is used in computer transmissions actually makes up the fabric of our reality. This is why a motherboard and a city look so identical. You can't tell me whether this is a motherboard or a city, I bet. So when the matrix is glitching, sometimes you may see portions of what's running it.
Neo, are you awake yet? Do you still not believe? Focus on the cross and tell me what you see. These are things that can only be seen through your peripheral vision. This is not a trick. This is not an illusion. The longer you watch, the more distorted and grotesque their faces grow. And you can see their true nature. This is true deception. Perception is deception. These images are terrifying. The veil is being lifted. What you're seeing is real. This is what is controlling us. You can stop this video and re-watch it, and you'll see that these faces are not altered. This is true deception It's time for everyone to wake up and face the truth of what we're dealing with.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.